Let's start by creating a panel for our splash screen. Right-click inside the hierarchy view, hover on UI, and select Panel. You will notice that it also automatically created a canvas and an event system for us. UI elements in Unity work in a hierarchy system, meaning that all its elements are a child of the canvas game object. Now, name our panel as Splash Screen and create two buttons as a child of the Splash Screen game object. Name one as Instructions button and the other as Start button. Then, select the canvas game object and modify its properties. Select Screen Space Overlay as the render mode and Scale with Screen Size for the UI scale mode. This will ensure that the UI elements are visible regardless of how small the screen size is. Next, let's make the panel fully opaque by adjusting its alpha value in its image component. Lastly, replace the button text so we know which button is which. Take note that each button has a child game object containing the text component. We need to change the text. Now, create another panel for the instruction screen and create a button that will close the panel. Utilize the anchors to reposition the button at the top right corner of the screen and fine-tune the position if need be. Change the text and adjust the size of the button to finish the design. Lastly, add a text component to display the game instructions. Reposition and adjust the size of the UI element to see the entire text. You can also utilize the anchors to achieve this. Change its font size to a larger value to read the text more clearly. Now let's move on to scripting. Create a new C# script and name it something recognizable. Inside the script, we first need to reference the panels we created so we can manipulate them. Then, inside the Start method, we're going to make sure that the splash screen will show and the instructions panel will be hidden. Next, we'll create various functions that will be called using the button component of the UI elements. Make sure the functions are public and does not have a return type. If you notice, we're using the setActive method to show or hide the UI elements. We can now save the script and head back to Unity Editor. Attach the script to the canvas game object and drag and drop the panels to their corresponding slots. Then, select a button and click the plus icon to create an entry in the onClick method. Drag the canvas game object to the non-object slot and select the corresponding function in the script we created. Repeat the same process for the other button UI elements. If we hit play, you'll notice that the UI works properly. Now let's create a simple gameplay for the game. First off, create an enemy tag and set it to the enemy game object, similar to what we did for the ground asset. Then, inside the scripts folder, open up the script component attached to our player character. Create a public variable of type integer for the player's lives. Then, inside the onCollisionEnter2D method, we're going to check if the player collided with the enemy using the tag we gave it earlier. We'll subtract 1 from the lives variable and output a debug message to check how many lives we still have. If it reaches 0, destroy the player game object. Don't forget to save the script before heading back to Unity Editor. Before we hit play, make sure that the enemy contains a box collider 2D component so the player can collide with it, and adjust the bounce if necessary. Then, select the player game object and input a value in the lives property of the script. We can now hit play, and if you notice from the console tab, the player will be destroyed when the lives reaches 0. Thank you for watching.